Okay, so in today's video, I just wanted to try something a little bit new. I like watching a lot of animation people, and so I thought I'd give it a try. Why not? But just bear with me, guys, because I am not the best drawer, especially when it comes to drawing on a computer screen. So let's just, get right into it. Okay, alright, so you all know my cousin, right? Well, you don't really know him, but you know, he's my cousin. Anyways, so as a kid, me and my cousin used to always get into a lot of trouble. I mean, not really trouble, but we just messed around a lot. And most of the time, what we were doing wasn't always good, I guess you could say. Anyways, I remember one time when we were playing outside with water balloons, and we were having a good time, grand time, chasing each other around and just throwing water balloons back and forth. And if you've ever been hit by a water balloon, let me tell you, that's actually not fun, especially if you get hit in the face. It kind of burns like heck. Anyways, not the point of the story. I remember we were chasing each other outside of the fence, and we had seen a car coming through on the intersection, and so we stopped for a second to see where it was going, and we figured it was going to turn because why not? It was at the intersection, so we just figured it was going to turn. Anyways, my cousin decides to throw a water balloon at me, and I somehow miraculously dodged it. And it ended up, get this, the water balloon flew across and perfectly hit the lady inside of the car that was coming from the intersection, and we totally flipped out. I kid you not. You should have seen our faces. We were so scared. We didn't know what to do. Like, we tried to run, but we just got scared and ended up just standing there watching her in disbelief, like, oh my gosh. And I remember her reaction perfectly. She was so mad. She stopped her car right in the middle of the road and she yelled at us. She was like, what in the world is that? Like, what did you just hit me with? Oh my gosh. And we were just like, oh shoot, what do we do? I don't know. And I was like, it's just a water balloon. And I remember she was just so mad and she was like, ugh. And then she just took off. And it was like, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I mean, it was pretty surprising that he actually had perfect aim enough to hit her inside the car. And her windows were down. Like, oh my God, who would have ever guessed, Anyways, that was pretty hilarious. She was mad. We both probably took away some good stories from that. And lady, we're still talking about that to this day because it was pretty funny. And what a freak kind of incident that happened, accident. For that, we didn't really tell anyone about that until right now. But, that's just kind of the quote-unquote trouble we would get into. And I remember also when we were kids, I used to live in this 4-block apartment style, and it had a house here, 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 and here. And we would play right in the middle of it. And we would play a game with the ball, and the idea was just not to let the ball pass you, and you had to kick it back and forth. Now, the lady in the corner house, she was an older lady, and she didn't really like to be bothered very much by kind of anybody, which I guess is understandable. She's older. And so sometimes the game would get a little out of control and the person on the other side would kick it just a little bit too hard. And if you were not fast enough to catch that ball, it would hit the garage. And when it hit the garage, it made this really loud thunder noise. And I guess that lady just really did not like that noise. Apparently, it just vibrated throughout her house and it made her dogs bark and it made her pictures on the wall, shake around, and we could hear her from inside the house. We could literally hear her from inside the house yelling at us, stop hitting the garage. And we got so scared because us being smaller kids, that older lady was pretty scary. And she would yell at us, and we were like, oh no, what is she going to do? She seems so angry, and we were always so afraid of her. And so anytime we went outside and we played that game, and we would be so careful not to hit her garage, but every once in a while, it just happened. We would hit the garage, and we would just freak out. We'd hit the garage, and we wouldn't even, not without even thinking or blinking, we would just take off running. We would just run, like, oh my God, we hit the garage, run, 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 run. Now she's gonna come after us. And we would leave the ball outside, and we'd hide inside for like hours until we thought it was okay to go back outside and just do it all over again. We'd hit the garage and oh no, run! That ended up being the new game, hit the garage and run. I mean, not really, but you know, we played this game so often, we never really learned to not play this game anymore, and we tried to face the other way, but the thing is, if you didn't catch the ball, then the ball would go into the road. So it's like we can't do anything in this little 4-block apartment. We're just trying to have some fun, and everyone's kind of ruining it for us. We're either hitting the garage or the ball's getting thrown into the road. And so yeah, you can see how that's a bit of a predicament. And like I said again, we didn't really get in trouble for this. It was just slightly annoying to have, you know, little kids as next door neighbors. But I mean, we're kids. We're gonna do crazy things like this all the time. And we did crazy things like this all the time. And we never really learned from it, which is pretty funny. Okay, friends, that's all the time we have today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye!